Hey guys, there's some things I want to talk about today. I'm doing my Easter event tonight in my server. Easter event tonight in my server. Excited for that. And also, I want to talk about how crappy this month has been. March has been so bad. It's It's anal sauce. It's literally sculpted art of piece of a sculpted piece of shit. It's a work of art. It's so bad. Because a lot of bad things happened on March. A lot of bad things. But not to mention my favorite team on soccer, RSL, has won their games yesterday night. But also, this month is just... Man, this month has sucked. This month has sucked so bad. It's a work of art. It's just awful. A lot of bad things. Man. Just. No. Just hell no. Just. Why? Just. Why? Just why? I watched it. If you want to go see why March has been a terrible month, shout out to the Ninja Slime. Go check out his channel and watch his terrible, about a video of March has been an awful month. He's pretty funny. And also, it's the 4-year anniversary of the damn pandemic. And also, Utah's Magna Fault Line, it's been the 4-year anniversary of our earthquake. Not to mention, a week ago we had 2 tremors one in the middle of the night and one in the afternoon. 2.0 and 2.4. The first tremors I ever felt in 4 years. I know. And not to mention, the Wasatch Fault Line has been ruptured for 600 plus years. I know, that's a damn long time. And it's bad. Why do I say it's bad? Well, if a fault line hasn't moved for more than 600 years, that's a lot of stress. We have quartz and bedrock in the rock of our underground, and that will get caught on a lot of things very easily. Quartz doesn't bend that type of rock doesn't bend very easily, so it will easily get a lot of tension. It'll easily get a lot of tension. A lot of stress will build up. But any fault line in the world can produce a 9.0 earthquake. It has to be a lot of stress has to build up over hundreds of years. And most things built in Utah are not capable of handling a 9, or let alone an 8 or a 7.5. Because the biggest earthquake we've ever had since 2000 was a 5.7 in 2020 in March. Yeah. Just a lot of crappy things have happened in this month. And March is finally coming to an end today. Soon we'll be going into April 1st. And also, guys, happy Easter. So, yeah. think it's crazy how it took Rockstar a freaking decade to make a stupid game that took them 10 years. Not to mention it'll be 11 years. It would have taken them 10 plus years to make a freaking game. And also, we had to wait so long, and now it's going to be $150 something to even play the damn game. Ridiculous. Overpricing, don't you think, Rockstar? I know you guys are like, oh, it's taken 11 years to make this stupid game. I don't think anybody asked for you to make a game so damn expensive. I get it why it's going to be $150 plus because of all the graphics, the 4K to 8K graphics, high frames, and also a lot of like big maps. Just, but still, it's overpricing, don't you think? The reason why they released their trailer early because somebody leaked it, and so they wanted to get back at that person. People don't leak the shit. It's kind of stupid. Like, I think it's stupid when people leak things when they're not supposed to be leaking things, because there's some companies out in the world when you leak something, you get in serious trouble. Just don't leak things, people. It's not a good idea. Your ass will get kicked by the company. Because there's some rules on companies, like if you leak something on one, and the company says you cannot be leaking things, and also some companies will sue the offender that leaked it. Like, people are stupid sometimes. And not to mention the whole war that's broken out in the Middle East. I know, it's stupid. Like, why can't people just resolve their freaking issues? It's stupid. Like, the only way to resolve our issues was with a war. Ridiculous. I don't know what this world has become. And also, not to mention, the fusion reactor power plant somewhere in this world is almost ready to go, to be turned on for the first time. Has been worked on for more than 2+ decades. And not to mention, the whole building takes up a square mile of space. It's gotta be big. It will have the same properties of the Hadron Collider, because in the center of the core, in the core of the machine, some things will be spinning around at the speed of light, almost. Like, the particles inside this thing will almost be going as fast as the speed of light. And the temperatures in the core will get as hot as the sun. We'll be basically... it will be like a mini sun inside the core of this machine. And also, it would be a cup of water would be as much power as a single barrel of oil. And guess what? It doesn't use oil. It just uses, I don't know what it uses, but it has barely any waste. It barely will even release waste into the atmosphere. So at a certain given time, it will release 3 grams of tritium-3 at a certain given time. But tritium-3 is a really bad substance for the atmosphere, but 3 grams is very small. Like, I mean, very small. And releasing it into the atmosphere is not such a good idea, but also they're releasing it at a certain given time, which means it will be random when they'll release it. So, and also 3 grams, it would take more than several thousand to, if not a million years, for the atmosphere to change for anybody to notice of the tritium-3, but if this thing becomes commercially viable, it would be the best things humans have ever created because it would outweigh the properties of a nuclear power plant. Basically, this thing can power more than 1 million homes, and like it can power several cities for thousands of years. And if these things become commercially viable, it'll be nice. And also the maglev that was built in Japan was just approved. They've been testing this thing for 15 years and be safe for humans to use. And they're thinking of the government wants to build one in the United States from Utah all the way to California. So, not to mention, these things go more than 600 miles an hour. We'll be breaking the sound barrier. We'll almost be breaking the sound barrier. And when you go on it, it'll be as much as a plane ticket. The reason why they're so expensive, like, it will be as much as a plane ticket because you're basically going to a different state. You're traveling at as fast as an airplane. But in the ground, here's the bad thing. If they just tunnel through the ground, they're going to be tunneling through fault lines, and that's a bad thing. But there's two things they might do. They might do blasting or use the Big Bertha machine. This is the tunnel boring machine, a 30-foot diameter cutting wheel. The cutting wheel, the Big Bertha machine, would be a much safer option because blasting will trigger tremors, will rupture fault lines, will have a chance to move the fault line, like disturb it, which is not good. But the Big Bertha machine will have some vibrations in the ground, but not as much as blasting through the earth. And not to mention, moon landings are becoming a thing again now. As after Apollo 13 in 1960 and East Java had a 6.4 magnitude earthquake 6 days ago. Put your hearts out there, people. Pray for them, they're okay. Because they've already had to go through a big, and Sumatra back in like 18 something, the Krakatoa volcano, that thing went off like a bomb in 18 something. Hey Bixby, when did the Krakatoa volcano have its big eruption? Yeah, October 21st, 1883 is when it had its big eruption. So, the sound wave traveled to the third of the Earth's surface. A third of the Earth's surface was able to hear it. So, more than 6,000 miles away, somebody was able to hear the blast wave. The island destroyed itself. There was 3 volcano heads, and all 3 of them went off. This thing had the equivalent to thousands, if not hundreds, if not tens of thousands of Hiroshima bombs. It killed thousands. It destroyed livelihoods all over the place. But the modern-day Krakatoa volcano, or Krakatau, because that's the new name for this young one, this thing grows at a fast rate, almost 12 feet a year. It grows at 12 feet a year. Very close to that. And that's the fastest growing landmass on the planet. And 12 feet is quite noticeable if you know. Because it's constantly active. But when the thing lies dormant, that means something bad is going to happen, because dormant means the volcano goes into sleep mode where nothing comes out of the crater of the volcano. And not to mention rising concerns about the super volcano Yellowstone has becoming more active recently. There's more geyser eruptions. Old Faithful has erupted hundreds of times last year, which that's not supposed to happen because the Old Faithful eruptions used to be pretty rare, but now they're increasingly becoming uncommon. Where people now visitors get to see this thing almost 40 eruptions a day. Somewhere close to that number, but the geysers around Yellowstone have become more active. And yes, there's a lot in one area of the supervolcano's caldera has been rising. Because magma is moving towards the surface. And the magma chamber is filling up at a semi-fast pace to a just a medium pace, if you would call that. So for the supervolcano to erupt, there has to be enough melt in the volcano for it to have its full eruption. It has had smaller eruptions in the past, but in the past of this planet's history, it's had 3 eruptions every 500,000 years to 600,000 years. It's like scientists have discovered it's in a pattern. Like, they don't want to believe it, but it's in a pattern. And plus, it has been over 700,000 years since the last eruption. And we're getting close to a big eruption from the supervolcano. So humans will experience a big eruption. They say it could happen in my lifetime. It could happen in 42,000 years. One of the two. They just said just keep an eye out. Scientists have to keep an eye out since it has been 700,000+ years since the last eruption, which that's a long time. That means the volcano has been building. So there's 2 calderas in the volcano from its secondary eruption and the third eruption. So the caldera is massive. So if you didn't know, guys, part of Utah and Nevada is a supervolcano, which is an extinct supervolcano. Used to be over a hot spot, over the mantle of the planet. So this caldera is twice as bigger than the supervolcano in Yellowstone. But the Yellowstone supervolcano is considered the most dangerous one on the planet because of it's very volatile. And the most recent super eruption that humans has experienced, humans as a species have experienced a supervolcano eruption. The famous Tuba eruption. We were in Africa at the time. Young people, us as a species, were in Africa at the time when this thing went off. And it ruined the planet's atmosphere for decades. We went into a mini ice age. Because the planet's temperatures will drop by almost 12 degrees. And we have something with no summer. Plants will die. Humans will die out because us as species, bottlenecked. If you don't know what bottleneck means, it means the human population reached a dangerous low level. Like, there's a lot of endangered species of animals out there. Some of the species are bottlenecked. They're at a dangerous low level of amount of animals of certain type of species and just whatnot. But yeah, the Tuba eruption exploded with I don't know how much force, but so a regular volcano will eject millions of tons of ash. Well, supervolcanoes eject billions of tons of pumice, ash, and so pyroclastic flows will go vertical up a hill and down a hill. It will travel across flat surfaces. It will go up the hill, because how big the explosion will be. But this thing will be several hundred times bigger than a Zarbomba explosion. We're talking hundreds of, if not thousands, times bigger. And the magnitude, the earthquake of this size will be more than a 10. Will be at least a magnitude 10. It will definitely shake the ground. The shockwaves will travel around the planet for several times, for days. The United States, as we know it, would fall apart because a third of the United States would be covered in ash, all the way to Florida. Some parts of Florida will see some ash. Parts of Mexico will see ash. Ash travels pretty far, guys. And somewhere in, I don't know what state this ash bed was found, but from the Idaho volcano, the ash traveled 1,000 miles from its original site. It shows you how fine, so the particles are very fine. They travel so easily in the wind. They will get caught in the wind very easily. It's insane. So yeah. There's things that are just, you can't stop things. Yeah. But there was a time, the Krakatoa volcano, the famous year without a summer, because the planet's level temperatures dropped by a few degrees, and that's still pretty bad. But 12 degrees is even worse, because there's not as much sunlight penetrating through the atmosphere to the surface of the planet. And not to mention the rising surface temperatures are reaching a critical point. Because if the planet's surface temperature reaches 20 Celsius, that's bad. That's bad. Like, winters will be warmer around the planet. And not to mention, Antarctica has experienced temperatures up to 60 degrees Fahrenheit. That's a normal. That's not normal. That's quite high for Antarctica, and that speeds up the melting process of the ice caps. And not to mention the drifting ice shelf that broke off from the main continent. 100 diameter wide ice shelf broke off, and it's still moving towards warmer waters. At a very slow pace, because how big the thing is. It's such a colossal size. But yeah, you should visit Yellowstone because it is a beautiful place to look at. Because it's famous hot pools it has. And stuff. But look at these cool factories I built. These are 2 new buildings I built the other day. Some little shops. And we got this will be a little factory. This front is the storefront, but the main stuff will be in the back. And this is where they get their supplies, through this room right here. Offices are on the 2nd floor. So yeah. Let's hope this year will be I hope the rest of this year will be better. Just things are going to happen. And yeah, and other things. Hold on. Sorry I didn't build anything, I just wanted to talk in this video, guys. Just to tell you what's life and just whatnot. So yeah. I do hope you enjoyed this video, and I'll see you in the next video. Bye!